My name is Matt Baker. I'm the Director of Energy Programs at Fairlead Integrated, which is also Earl Energy. And what we do is what we call expeditionary or tactical microgrids, in the sense that they're standalone either on military trailers or hardware, or in support of a operating base in the middle of the desert in Arizona. Power electronics, and as a Marine, I did 28 years in the Marine Corps, so I'm by no means an engineer. But developing power electronics, typically when you go to test them, the things unfortunately turn into a big blue spark, even with the best of engineers. And so what we were looking for is a way that we could test things without having any catastrophic failures, but also, and this is where we really got interested in Typhoon, it gives us a way to have a parallel development. We can have our electrical engineers working on the hardware side and have the software engineers already working on the systems integration piece, whereas before we had to be very linear, and so you've helped us by, we don't destroy as much kit while we're developing it, and you've sped it up because we can do a parallel work effort. So we've got a very small team, between 5 and 8 engineers, and we rely on a hardware couple guys, the electrical engineers, the guys actually doing putting the product together. And then we've got a power systems guy. They are starting to fight with each other about access to, there's only 5 of them who want access, but now we're running out of time in the day for all 5 of those guys. So that should tell you something, is that the demand will only increase. But I think you all helped us a lot with the connections, the interfaces for the 603 that we have. And I know you all were right at the ground level and rolling out that 603 when we got a hold of it. It's a fantastic relationship we have with your outfit. And then really a lot of our effort is in the software piece, and we have to develop software and controls both for the power modules, the power conversion piece, and the system controller that controls the microgrid. And in addition to running the power converter, it runs the storage. So we integrate storage, photovoltaics, solar arrays, and generators, turning generators. I personally am here because I'm trying to close the gap between customers who think of power as just a requirement that comes out of the receptacle over there, and a bunch of really, really smart people who realize that power technology is changing a whole lot, but there's a disconnect between the two. And so I'm trying to figure out how to package it, and what to take that customer who doesn't really understand the issue and show him, hey, this can help you if you buy this. I think it needs to be cost effective, not necessarily dollar cost effective, because there are other factors. For instance, we want it to be more environmentally beneficial, or not have as big an impact. So that's why solar and batteries come in. So cost effective, but it also has to make sense, and it has to work. And that's been a lot of the problem is you're talking to people who what they have works for them, however inefficiently we may think it is now as people from the industry. And they are very reluctant to change to something that they don't fully understand and that possibly will break down on them, and then they don't know how to fix it. Typhoon hardware in the loop development, it's so critical to what we do. And I'll emphasize again, this is completely unsolicited because I stopped by to say thank you for your help. So I really think your kit is great. One of the things I like about Typhoon, it's what I call an example of a truly global company. I think that's part of the answer that we're working on. And I just think that makes your company that much stronger, and clearly is one of your strengths.